Welcome to a very special episode of the Root of All Broth. I'm Kathleen Hill, and I want to wish a very happy Father's Day to my father, Brennan, and my father-in-law, Wesley, and my wonderful husband, Steve. Today's inspiration is my father. My father, when I was growing up, was a wonderful cook. He traveled all around the world and came home with a passion for cooking and would experiment in the kitchen with all kinds of foods from all over the world. And one of the things he loved to make was bananas Foster for us kids. So, of course, bananas Foster is a New Orleans specialty, started in Brennan's restaurant. And today I am bringing to you bananas Foster ice cream. And we're going to serve it in a very special way as a tribute to not only my father, who was such a wonderful man and such a wonderful cook, but to all fathers out there. So let's get cooking. I highly recommend you stick through this video to the very end because we do have a very special way that we're going to serve this dessert, and I want to make sure that you get to know all about how to serve it and how to put it together, so make sure you watch to the very end. So for this recipe, we're going to make this ice cream in a couple of different steps. So we're going to start with making the base, which is a custard base. So we're going to take 1 cup of milk and we're going to pour it in a pan on the stove. We're going to cook it over medium-high heat till just simmering. Then we're going to mix that in. We're going to temper our eggs. We're going to have 4 egg yolks, and then we're going to temper those egg yolks with the milk, and then we're going to heat that up again. But let me show you how to actually just get egg yolks if you're a beginner cook. Okay, one of the tips I learned when I was a kid was you should never crack an egg over your batter or over something you're cooking, because then if the egg is bad, then it'll ruin your whole batter. Let me show you how to get just the yolk from an egg. Crack it. See, the white naturally wants to fall to the side. You can kind of shake it here. Toss it back and forth over each side of the egg until you just get that beautiful yolk. And that's all you do. Okay, we're going to take our 4 egg yolks and we're going to mix it in with a 1/2 cup of Moreno sugar. And we're going to whisk this till it's kind of fluffy. Okay, so I have our milk over medium-high heat, and I'm just going to stir it here with my rubber spatula until it just about simmers. We're going to have to temper the eggs because, as I've mentioned in other videos, if you don't temper the eggs, it will scramble the eggs, and then you won't have custard, you'll have scrambled eggs. And we definitely don't want that. So we will definitely have to temper the eggs, which means bringing the eggs up to the temperature of the milk without curdling it. Okay, so we have the milk, and now we're going to start tempering our eggs. Just going to take a little bit of this milk at a time and add it to our egg mixture. We're going to slowly stir it. And we're going to continue to do this until all of the milk has incorporated into the egg mixture. And then we will put the whole thing back on the stove. Okay, now I have my milk and sugar and egg mixture back on the stove on medium heat. We're going to make sure that this cooks until it's 165 degrees. We do not want this to boil. Once it gets to 165, we'll take it off and then we're going to put it in the refrigerator to cool it down to 65 degrees. You can leave it as long as you want in the refrigerator covered. The longer the better, but we're going to just wait for it to cool down to 65 degrees. Just a note, it does not take long for this temperature to go up to 165. So we're there. And time to take it off the stove. Now I'm just going to pour this right here, this into eventually what will be our ice cream bin. This will be our custard. And this will go straight into the refrigerator once I cover it. Okay, while your custard base is in the refrigerator chilling, the next thing you're going to do is make the bananas Foster portion of the ice cream. So we have 4 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to heat that up on the stove. And to that, we're going to add 1/4 cup of brown sugar, a 1/2 cup of Blue Chair Bay banana rum cream, 1/2 cup of Myers rum, and 2 chopped bananas and some cinnamon. So I'll show you the process. As our butter melts, we'll go to the next step. Okay, our butter is melted. Now I'm going to add the brown sugar. Essentially, we're going to make caramel here. Now, if you don't find the Blue Chair banana rum cream, you can use any kind of banana liqueur you choose. Same thing with Myers. If you don't want to use Myers rum, you can use another kind of rum. That's okay too. So I'm going to stir this up. Let this kind of the sugar dissolve a little bit in the butter. We're also going to add about 1/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. Might have been a little bit more. It's okay. Cinnamon, it's not too overpowering, and a lot of it is fine. So if you get a little heavy-handed on the cinnamon, it's okay. Okay, now I'm going to add my 2 chopped bananas. I just cut these bananas down the middle and then cut them on the vertical. Cut that down. I'm going to caramelize these bananas. I hope you guys think this looks as delicious as it is. You're only going to stir this for a couple minutes. We don't want to overly reduce these bananas so you have good chunks for your ice cream. I have this on low heat right now, just getting a coating on these bananas, just real beautiful coating. And then we'll have fireworks. Okay, we've turned our stove off and the lights off for a very important reason. We're about to have some fun with some fire. So now we're gonna add our Myers rum. We have turned off the eye. We're gonna add our Blue Chair banana cream. And now we're gonna turn our eye back on and start to heat this up and have a little fun with fire. Okay guys, if you're real talented, you can start this by tipping your pan properly and then catching the flame. I am not that talented. This is where you're gonna have the fun. It's fun for your kids to watch. My dad always let us watch when he did this. To burn all that alcohol out. And voila, we have Bananas Foster. So we're gonna set this to the side while our custard is cooling down. We're gonna let this completely cool down to where it is cool, because we're gonna layer this with the ice cream. And if this is any heat to it, it's gonna melt the ice cream and you won't get the layers that you want. So this has to be completely cool before you start to layer. Okay, our custard has reached below 65 degrees. Now to this mixture, I'm gonna add 1 cup of heavy cream and 1 tablespoon of our homemade vanilla extract. So this is basically a little airline bottle of Absolute vodka that we have soaked a vanilla bean in for a week or so, and it just makes a wonderful vanilla extract. We're gonna mix this mixture up and then we're gonna put it in our ice cream maker, and it'll take about 30 minutes for the ice cream to come to the consistency that we want it to, and then we'll begin to layer our ice cream. Okay, I've stirred up our mixture. I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in the top here, and I will turn our machine on. And if you can take a shot inside here, Steve, you'll see it has a little wheel that keeps the cream and the custard moving, so then it will eventually become beautiful ice cream. Okay, now we're at the stage where our ice cream is actually pretty cold. It's not too hard. It's soft enough for us to actually scoop out of here and then add it to our bowl here. So I'm going to just take this out first, and we're going to just put this in here. Use your rubber spatula. And we're going to make a layer of the vanilla ice cream. So this will lift right out. Now, if you want to double this recipe, when I first made this, I doubled the recipe. What I would recommend that you do is do not just automatically double the rum. You know, taste, you could do like 3/4 cup instead of a full cup of rum if you double it, because you don't want it to be so rum heavy. Now we're going to take our Bananas Foster mixture, and you want to do this slowly so you don't get all of the bananas in the first layer, right? It's okay, you can move it around a little. It doesn't have to be just sitting right on top. All that good brown sugar and butter. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. We're going to do another layer of ice cream. And obviously this is a pretty big, bowl. So if you use a smaller bowl, your layers might be thicker. But I'm going to scoop this ice cream, and I know exactly how I want to scoop it, so I want it to have like a wide mouth on it. Okay. I'm going to add the rest of the bananas Foster. All right, and then it is ready for the freezer. Okay, now we're going to get to shaping our ice cream. So we've got our bananas Foster ice cream, beautiful and fresh, and I use this scoop because this scoop actually gives me nice round balls. And we are going to mold this into the shape of a golf ball, just a nice round ball. That's perfect. Put it on a piece of plastic wrap, wrap it up like that, twist both ends, and then stick it in your freezer. You can do this multiple times. I would recommend you do about 6 or 7, and I'm going to show you how to then serve this ice cream. Okay, so I have my golf ball size ice cream out of the freezer, and I've got unsweetened flaked coconut. I'm going to roll this, and I'm going to cover this ice cream to make a white golf ball. Just press it in. I use unsweetened. I think sweetened is just going to add too much sugar. If you've got a lot of sugar in that ice cream, you don't need a ton. Okay, now we're ready to serve. Okay, when thinking about developing a dessert for my dad to honor him, I thought about the things he loved. 1, golf. 2, bananas Foster. 3, chocolate. And 4, peanuts. So I have our sand trap made of crushed peanuts. I have a hole made out of Hershey's syrup, and then our wonderful bananas Foster ice cream covered in unsweetened flaked coconut. And this is what I call Dad's dream. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode today. Dad, I love you. Thank you for everything you've always done for me, and thank you for teaching me the love of cooking. And Wes and Steve, I love you both, and I honor you today too. Thanks for joining us here on the channel, and click the link to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications.